Hi there, my name is Sheila Beckett and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And I've been listening to Big Finish's Doctor Who, The Early Adventures Volume 4, starring David Bradley as the first Doctor, recreating his role from An Adventure in Time and Space and Twice Upon a Time. Now, I know there are many of you out there that hated Twice Upon a Time. Personally, I really liked it. I really loved it, in fact. I found it to have some like good-natured ribbing about the changing of attitudes from society from 1963 to 2017, rather than a character assassination. But I understand a lot of people are really mad at it about it. I would say forget about that. Just concentrate on Bradley's performance. If you like his performance, you like his performance. So he's joined, as always, by these stories with his Adventure in Time and Space cohorts: Gemma Powell as Barbara, Jamie Glover as Ian, and Claudia Grant as Susan. So, as with all the Big Finish recastings, these are recreations rather than impersonations. And as such, they do sound pretty distinctly different from like Hartnell, William Russell, Carol Ann Ford, and far less indistinguishable from the actors that originated the role than, say, when we get to Tim Treloar's Third Doctor, or Jacob Dubman's 10th or 11th Doctor, or even John Carter's Brigadier, his Brigadier. Freaking perfect. I do hope he's in the next Third Doctor set. Anyway, so I think it comes out, this month? Next month? That's something to look forward to. But yeah, they are good, solid performances that I think present the essence of what the characters are in a very authentic way. So Claudia Grant's Susan, however, for my ear, is way too posh with her received pronunciation, making her sound more like a refugee from the Crown than a 1960s teenager. But spoiler alert, for this review, this is a strong recommend. This is a recommend, and I'm really happy it is. Moreover, I think this is the best set they've done in this range. So if you're looking for a place to dip your toes in, I really think this is a good place to start. But another great place to start is hitting that subscribe button. If you can hit that subscribe button today, that would be fan-dabby-double-dozy. Thank you so much. I would say, pathetically grateful for everybody who subscribed. So, firstly, go check the video notes. I want to show you my gratitude. Go and, even if you don't subscribe, you can get this. This is for everybody. This is just if you wander in. You can download a Doctor Who audio adventure starring Nicholas Briggs as a Doctor. This was made in the mid-80s by a group called Audio Visuals that grew up to become Big Finish. The story is called Geopath. Pretty darn good story. Also, I give stuff away each week on this channel. The stuff I'm giving away this week, I think it's fan-frickin-tastic. It's my favourite movie, one of my favourite movies of all time. It is Apocalypse Now, in this swanky sealed orders kind of like presentation. All you need to do to win it, but if you don't know what Apocalypse Now is, I just recorded a review of it. You got to check out this review, because you got to check out this movie. It's I think perhaps one of the best movies of all time. I think I might have just said that. Anyway, so all you need to do is subscribe to the channel. Subscribing being the very, very important part of the equation from my perspective. And then you leave a hashtag Panama Red. Hashtag Panama Red. We're going to do the prize drawing on Sunday on the TARDIS, and that'll be the 19th. I think we're talking about the Doctor Who Christopher Eccleston story, Dalek. Yeah, we're talking about Dalek that week. So fine. Enter, and best of luck to anybody entering. So anyway, let's get back to talking about Doctor Who, The Early Adventures of Volume 4. So, something that all these sets do, and very, very consciously do very, very well, is actually recreate the era in question, which this set seamlessly does. This set, it fits so easily. Imagine there was like another half season after before Marco Polo, after what's the one Edge of Destruction. It just fits really perfectly in there, both thematically and tonally. So with all of these sets, we have a science fiction tale and a historical tale. So the biggest draw for this set will be the science fiction story, which is a direct sequel to the original Dalek story, Dead Planet, or whatever you want to call it, really. I guess the Dalek. This is Andrew Smith's return to Skaro. So they try to use a fast return switch, I thought was quite a nice idea, to get Ian and Barbara back to 1963 England. So the time travelers find themselves back on Skaro, but many decades after their first visit. There's always been this fascinating gap that really needed to be filled after that first Dalek story, where we work out what actually happened to the Thals and the Daleks when they were on Skaro together. And honestly, I never understood how both of them were managed to share Skaro. That just never made any sense to me, which seemingly they are, which we saw in Planet of the Daleks, John Pertwee's Planet of the Daleks, when the Thals showed up. They said they still live on Skaro. Don't the Daleks also live in Skaro? It just seemed to me that they're both species, and they're both spacefaring species. One would have kicked the other one off off the planet. I don't see them sharing it. And quite frankly, if it gets to fisticuffs between the Thals and the Daleks, aren't the Daleks just going to destroy the Thals, completely? So I don't really understand. There's a whole bit of lore that really needs to be written, but this doesn't do that. That piece of interplanetary politics doesn't really come into this. Takes place way before that, as the TARDIS crew arrives to find the Thals considerably developed from where they were from when they last see them. In the intervening decades, they've built themselves, or was it, I guess, rebuilt? No, okay, built themselves their own city, harvesting a lot of Dalek technology, and the TARDIS crew are almost, but not quite, have found themselves in like mythic status. But of course, the evil pepper pots that were seemingly destroyed at the end of the Daleks are still around, shuffling around, now in hiding. So what ensues is a very kind of curious story that matches almost beat for beat Troughton's debut story, The Power of the Daleks. As the feared Dalek menace returns, and they try and convince everybody they've reformed and they're warm, friendly, and cuddly biomechanical blobs in bonded polycarbonate armored shells. So the second story in the set is the last of the Romanovs, and again fits seamlessly into the first season, both thematically and stylistically. It's written by Jonathan Barnes, who I always more associated with Big Finish's quasi-historical dramas like Sherlock Holmes. Well, the Sherlock Holmes sets are really good. Sherlock Holmes or the Dracula Rangers. So he was pretty good casting to do this purely historical tale. It feels very similar to Reign of Terror. The time travelers arrive in a war-torn strife, as much in Reign of Terror, as the Bolsheviks hold the former Emperor Nicholas, the former Tsar Nicholas, I should say, and his family captives, while they try and work out what to do with them. And of course, we all know exactly what indeed happens to them. And so that's what we're in this like real watershed moment in history. And it's really fascinating that so much of human history and the Russian Revolution is just drenched in blood and human sacrifice. I said not human sacrifice, but human death and misery. That there was a murder of this mostly innocent family set the course for the entire Soviet Union for much of its existence. I think this one act really labeled it forever, indelibly, as an evil empire. There's a sense of like this fatality to the entire story, as all the players seem to know that they're trapped in history and unable to break the ties that are binding them. Even the Doctor questions his lifelong credo at this point anyway, that history cannot be changed. Not one line when he's faced with the reality that he must stand by and allow this family, all of which who he likes and he feels are good people. He has to go stand by and let this family that he's become close with be murdered. So the legend of Anastasia Romanov and her rumored survival from the massacre is indeed touched upon and quite cleverly. But really, the bottom line that is, if you're going to enjoy these, is how much you like the early Doctor Who. Do you like that first season? If you like the first season, you're gonna like these stories, because again, these just feel like they're ripped seamlessly from that first season. The music and the soundscape sounds exactly like it was lifted from a Lost Stories soundtrack, and so it's really easy to imagine it in a sort of grainy black and white, or even like a crisp modern animated reconstruction. So this one is a strong recommend for me, and it's always good. It's always good to support Big Finish. I'm really always thrilled to be able to recommend stuff they do, especially as they're such a great company and they do so much to support us in this like time of crisis. They're putting out so many cut price and free releases to keep people entertained, to try and keep people safe. They've just released another really good story for absolute free. I think you can get it for the next few days. It's Max Platt's Companion Chronicles, the beginning, which chronicles the Doctor and Susan's escape from Gallifrey. One thing, and this is really a minor quibble, the cover had a proto TARDIS, like a police box TARDIS, a natural TARDIS on the cover, which was this wonderful like pyramid shape. But then it contradicted the was it the name of the Doctor? Yeah, the name of the Doctor, or the day of the the name of the Doctor when you saw him still the TARDIS, and the TARDIS was like a somewhat less interesting cylinder, kind of like the Sidrat machines from the War Games. So yeah, so they replaced the cover with that one. If you can find the original cover, I think it's so much better. But as I said, it's free. Go ahead, go to Big Finish now. As I said, support Big Finish. They're a fantastic company, and they deserve our support. My name is Stephen Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, subscribe, and ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.